I also want to show briefly Google Classroom assignments because I know a lot of folks use Google Classroom. To share Google Classroom assignments, I'll go back into my Google Class. I'll just show briefly that if I have a score in Noteflight, now here's my brand new Google Classroom assignment. So I'm going to create a quick assignment, and we'll talk about worksheets in a second. So this is compose something, or maybe it's a scale, right? We'll give students a quick scale in here. Okay, there we go, play this scale. Now, notice in score details, you can still share the score, but because this is a Google Classroom site, you can actually create a Google Classroom assignment right here. So you can select multi-select which classes you'd like to assign it. You can give it a title. Oops. You can provide instructions for your students. You can give it a point value in Google. You can give it a due date, right? And you can even choose to save as draft, schedule, or assign. So you can schedule for a future date, assign now. But this creates this assignment in your Google Classroom automatically for you. The other thing, it's automatically creating that activity template so you don't have to think about it. So if you're using Noteflight Learn with Google Classroom, you can just create assignments directly from Noteflight right into your Google Classroom automatically, which is a super handy feature. So that is Google Classroom assignments. Now, let's talk about sharing scores in Noteflight Learn. To share scores in Noteflight Learn, you might have a situation where you don't want to use an activity template, meaning you want students or other teachers to see exactly your version of the score, not get their own copy. Now, what does this look like? Well, when you go to share scores, the other option that you'll see is, and I'm going to go back to my score from earlier just so we can get situated here. 800 scores. All right, so Noteflight Learn 101, I'm going to edit my sharing. I'm going to go to allow members to view, comment, or edit. So now I'm not creating that activity template. I'm actually telling Noteflight that I want other people to see the exact score that I'm looking at. Now, view, comment, or edit, when I hit all site members, or I can say a group. We talked about groups earlier, so let's say I want clarinets doesn't make any sense because there's no clarinet parts. Let's say I want my trumpets to practice this. I can let my trumpets view, add their own comments, which is the comment panel, or I can have my trumpet players edit. Be very careful with giving edit access to your score because anyone can change your exact score. So let's say I want to give them view access. So I can do that. You can also go to all site members and you can do the same thing, view, comment, or edit. Now there's another option here that's called let people copy this score. So in this case, right, if you'd like to let people copy the score, that means that they can only view your score, but it does allow them to save their own copy if they want to make their own edits and not change your score. So this is a really good combination that's most common is, I want to give view or comment access. They can comment on my score, but if they want to do something, they can make their own copy. Totally up to you. The last thing I'll show is show this score in search results and public score listing. If you click that, what that means is it shows up in your public site. So in your community section of Noteflight Learn, you have this public scores section, and there's my Noteflight Learn 101 with my little cover art because I said show in public scores. So there's this cool option in Noteflight Learn where students can share their music with each other, or you could have that whole community section, which I showed, where students can actually create their score and share it and let everyone can check it out. So that is sharing scores in Noteflight Learn.